everyone. Welcome to this live. So basically, I'm just going to wait for a few people to get in. Before I get into it, I'm just going to wait. Seeing if I'm live. It's actually weird because I have a mirror in front of me. I'm live on Instagram here. I'm live on Facebook here, and I'm watching your comments on my other phone. So there's 4 of me. It's quite bizarre. But hi, everyone. How's it, Mark? I was just waiting especially for you. Thank you so much for showing up. But yeah, welcome, everyone. I basically just wanted to do these lives during the month of August, just to educate and empower all of you on specific topics when it comes to my legal realm. So once again, just a bit of a warning. If I'm looking here on Instagram and I'm going to be looking here on Facebook. Unfortunately, I'm not very tech savvy yet. I'm learning. So yeah. So welcome, everyone. Before I get into it, if some of you know me, some of you don't know me. For those that don't know me, my name is Jennifer Amy Stoller, and I am an attorney, I am a coach, and I'm a speaker. And I help people divorce from humans, habits, and spaces that don't serve them, right? I do specialize in divorce law. I specialize in family law. I'm also a notary. I draft all types of anti-nuptial contracts, cohabitation agreements, and all of that. And today I wanted to deal with a specific topic of living together without marriage, as well as anti-nuptial contracts. So welcome, everyone. I feel like I'm on a stage now. But I can see myself. It's quite amazing. So tell me if you can hear me, say hello, and yeah, let's get into it. So my aim essentially is to take all of you on a journey when it comes to the legalities. So just also another bit of a warning. This is South African law, right? These laws only apply in South Africa. I am an attorney that specializes in South African law. Obviously, the coaching that I do is universal because obviously I have the tools to give people in the coaching realm. But when it comes to the legal aspects that I'm going to be dealing with today, they are purely based on South African law, right? So how's it, Dan? How's it, Wendy? How's it, everyone? So yeah, let's get into it. So firstly, if any of you do watch the replay, just hashtag replay. If any of you have any questions, you are more than welcome to pop them in the chat. You're more than welcome to comment your questions. You're more than welcome to DM me your questions. And also at the end of this live, I will be giving a link that will send you to a free ebook that deals with what I'm talking about. Cool. So the first topic that we're going to be dealing with is living together without marriage. Okay. So in South Africa, there is this massive myth that there is a thing called common law marriage. There's no such thing as common law marriage in South Africa. So if you're living together with your partner, without any sort of cohabitation agreement or without any sort of agreement that regulates your relationship, South African law does not protect you, okay? I'm not actually even sure where this myth even came from because South Africa's never had common law marriage. Overseas, obviously, there is common law marriage, but in South Africa, there's no such thing. So I'm going to give you the legalities surrounding all of this, and then I'm going to give you practical examples that take the legalese and put it into simple terms, right? Because I know even being an attorney, let's be honest, it's like sometimes it becomes extremely overwhelming with all the legalities. We don't know what our rights are. We don't know what's happening and all of that. So that's my goal in this. For all the people that have joined, as I said in the beginning, I will be looking here because I'm on Instagram live here and Facebook here because I wanted to basically do a live so everyone that follows me could get value from this, and it is based on South African law. So I'll give you an example when it comes to living together without marriage. if, say, for example, you break up, right? Let's say you've been together for a whole lot of years and you haven't been married, and you break up and you don't have a will or you don't have an agreement, there's no law that protects you, right? So there's no yet, right? There is a bill that is in working and it hasn't been completely implemented yet. But essentially, the only thing that you'd be able to rely on is something called a universal partnership, which I'll get to in the end. But basically, there's no law protecting you. So you could be living together with someone for years and years and years. You could be contributing to the rent. You could be contributing to the bond. You could be contributing to groceries. And if you don't have some sort of agreement and break up, there's no law protecting you. So South Africa's thinking behind that law is very much, you do not get the benefits of marriage if you are not married. Okay, so tell me, who agrees with that? Like, pop your comments in the comment section. Like, some people are like, that's not fair. What if I can't get married? What if I don't want to get married? What if I don't believe in marriage? So by relationship, yes, I mean not married. So it's basically now two people, they're living together. Even if you are engaged, but you're not actually married, this applies in terms of South African law. And as I said in the beginning, there's no such thing as common law, which means that basically there's nothing protecting you if you had to break up from that person. So now, and it's actually funny because I haven't done a live in terms of legalese in such a long time, because sometimes it can be a bit of a snooze fest, but I'm going to make it as educational, entertaining, and inspirational, because for me, I like to inspire people to take action in order to protect themselves. So when it comes to living together without marriage, so let's say two people, many people like to live together before they get married. Many people like to just test the water, see if it's working, or just moving together and then marriage comes afterwards. In this realm, what is very, very important to note is you actually can protect yourself, but it's about taking action. When I say taking action, it means you can enter into what is called a cohabitation agreement or regulate what would happen in that space. Okay, so I'll explain what a cohabitation agreement is. If anyone is living with their partner and listening to this, pop a message in the comments saying that you understand where I'm going. Tell me, have you entered into certain agreements? Have you and your partner spoken about this, right? And if any of this does resonate, pop me a DM, and I'm also very, very happy to give you like a 15-minute free call. We can chat, we can connect, and I can see if I can actually help you through what you're going through. So when it comes to cohabitation agreements, essentially it's where two people sit down and they will regulate the relationship if it had to go south. So I'll give you a practical example. Many people, they move in together and they buy a property together. One party might pay the bond, and one party might pay, for example, the groceries, the rates and taxes, the levies, and all of that. But remember, if that property is registered in one of the partner's names and not both of your names, you will not be entitled to claim anything from that property if you guys had to break up. But if you do enter into what is called the cohabitation agreement, you literally get the opportunity to list what would happen. Okay, there we go. What would happen if you had to break up with the property? What would happen with this? How much would a person get from the property? How much would a person be able to claim? Which individual does what and all of that? So it's basically giving you an umbrella if something had to happen and in order to protect you. Okay. Another mechanism that you could use, and this obviously is only in death, and obviously we don't like talking about death, but it's a reality, is you can provide for certain things in your will. Okay. I do recommend that you take a step further. I do recommend that you enter into a cohabitation agreement. I do recommend that you sit down and you think about what you would want, how you would want it, and go forward with that with your partner. But as I said, I am here for questions. I am here if you do want to set up a call with me, because what happens is that if you don't have an agreement like that and you either break up or something happens to your partner without that agreement, or without a will, or without a trust in place, or something in place to protect you, you only have one thing which is available to you, which is called a universal partnership. So the law does give you a mechanism to help you if the proverbial shit hits the fan. But in order to prove a universal partnership is probably one of the hardest things for you to do, right? To prove a universal partnership, one, it costs a lot of money. You have to get an attorney, and attorney's fees range from 1,500 up to 5,000 Rand an hour. And imagine now you're in a position where you don't actually know your rights. You're not quite sure how you're going to enforce them. And now you have to go to an attorney to claim something that you put into something without having that capital. So in order to prove a universal partnership, it's not just normally like a normal relationship, right? So, well, normal marriage, where you basically would prove this is what happened and all of that. There's requirements which are so in depth. So the first requirement is you have to show that the aim of the partnership relationship was to make profit. Okay, it's very, very hard to prove that. Imagine now you're just living together, you're in love, and now you have to prove that actually by you two living together and moving in together, you were doing it to yield a profit. Very difficult to prove. I've dealt with a universal partnership before. I've managed to do it, but in order to get there, it was a very, very, very difficult task. But my clients obviously had to go through quite a long period of time, but we managed to be able to prove it. Then the second thing is that both of you contributed. And I get this question a lot when it comes to universal partnerships. It's not only a contribution in terms of money. So this contribution can be where, say, for example, let's say two parties live together, they have kids together. Many people have kids together without marriage, which is completely okay these days. And the one partner doesn't work. They take care of the kids, they take care of the home, they cook, they clean, and they basically create that space. That could also be a contribution. So it doesn't only have to be a monetary contribution. Then the third one is that it has to benefit both parties. And once again, this is such a hard thing to prove because benefit can be very different, right? So how do you define benefit? How do you show someone that the other person benefited from what the other person did? And lastly, it must be a legitimate relationship, right? So there is a marriage bill that is in the works where I do anticipate that people living together will get some sort of rights from legislation, but it's not 100%. So my quick tip is very simple. One, consult an attorney, pop me a DM, we can set up a call, do something like that, ask questions and enter into a cohabitation agreement. Sometimes it can just be very simple, right? Sometimes you're just living together and sharing rent, but you're not actually doing anything else, like with a business or groceries or anything like that. Sometimes you just split everything. But rather know how to protect yourself if you are contributing, let's say, for example, to a bond, or if you are contributing to an asset or something of the other parties, okay? I know that this is very legal. Trust me, I try laymanize it as much as I possibly can, but that's why I've opened my DMs, I've opened my email address to anyone that does have questions on this, and then I can explain it based on your specific situation. And then